guys, it's Bastian time. Welcome to this week in Zelda news. No, I didn't get a haircut, you're just imagining things. Let's get to those top stories. So our first story comes from Club Nintendo, but not the European or North American version, but only specifically the Japan version. And that is that they're now offering Zelda Polo shirts over there. They're pretty awesome. I'm not really a person who wears polo shirts in general, but I will definitely get a Zelda one, especially an official Club Nintendo Zelda one, but no such luck. They're only for the Japanese. But who knows, maybe they'll bring them over here or over in Europe, but I wouldn't count your cuckoos before they hatch. Our next story is about a set of swords found in the area now known as Turkey, but they predate that country. They're from about 4,000 years ago, the oldest swords ever discovered, and they've got the Triforce on them. They're like the real honest-to-goodness Master Sword, basically. Now, I mean, of course, the Triforce is just 3 triangles, so it's not that unusual. We do know that a very similar symbol is found in Japanese culture from a long time ago. It was the symbol of a particular house in Japan back then. It's also a symbol used in what is, of course, now known as Turkey back in their past. So it's still pretty awesome to know that the oldest swords in our history have the Triforce on them. Now we've got 3 stories that are all kind of similar. They all have Zelda Easter eggs in them. The first one is from a video series called Minutephysics, and I've never heard of this video series before, but I watched this one and then I watched several more. But basically the host takes very complicated physics or other science sort of ideas and then animates and explains them in incredibly easy to understand ways. I'm really kind of interested in science in general, so these were really enjoyable, but this particular one has a Zelda Easter egg in it when he's talking about various cultures and various countries. He has flags show up, and one of the flags, for whatever reason, has the Triforce on it, and it's not ancient Turkey. The next Zelda Easter egg is seen in a Smosh video. Now, for those not familiar with Smosh, you actually probably are. They're the people that did that big fancy Zelda rap about a year ago, maybe a little less than a year, like maybe about 8 months or so ago. But it was that Zelda rap that had the really good costumes and special effects, and they do videos constantly. And in their current video, it's not Zelda related at all, but there is a Zelda Easter egg hidden in there, and it's an audio one, so you're going to have to listen to it for yourself and find it. And then the third Zelda Easter egg video is another YouTube video, and it's kind of similar to that first one I mentioned, but this one is specifically about history. And again, it's a completely different YouTuber than the Minutephysics guy, but this guy does like history little videos, and really interesting stuff, and also animated and so on. In this particular one, they're talking about swords, and of course, in one of the swords that you'll see there is the Master Sword, which of course didn't exist back in Columbus's day, which is what the video's about. But you know, hey, it's fun to see the Master Sword sneaking its own appearance in various other places. Our next story is about a fan-made Skyward Sword art print. Now, this is a really, really beautiful piece of art. They're selling these prints, so you can purchase them. They're actually, the artist is kind of famous or popular. They sold quite a few prints, so this isn't just your average Joe Schmo drawing up a quick little thing in crayon and trying to sell it on the internet or whatever. This is a reputable artist, and it's a really great piece. It's very stylized. I would love to see a Zelda game done in this style, actually. I think it would be awesome. But Anyways, they're up for sale. Go ahead and click on the link down below if you want to take a look at the artist's other prints or if you want to purchase this one. And then our final story is about a father and son who decided that they were going to play the original Legend of Zelda together. Now, this, I almost feel like this kid has been brainwashed because when he was born, his nursery was Zelda themed. It had a poster from Twilight Princess in it, and he had a plush, Link plushie. And his dad, when he was a toddler, had him watch the Zelda cartoon from the 80s, and this kid's whole childhood, basically, because his father is such a huge Zelda fan, is very Zelda-oriented. So they decided that they were going to give the original Legend of Zelda a shot and play it together, with the father kind of being a living, breathing walkthrough guide. And then the kid actually just playing it all on his own. Although the father does admit that there were several dungeons that were a little tricky. I guess the final dungeon was just too much, so he played all of the final dungeon, but then handed the game over to the kid and let the kid defeat Ganon. Now, what's interesting is that the father says that it took him a bazillion tries to try to defeat Ganon back when he was the kid's age. But the kid finished Ganon in his second or fourth shot or something like that. So I guess the generations are getting better in that family or something. But it's kind of a heartwarming story. I almost feel like this would have been better for me to talk about back on Father's Day. So if you want to read the full story, go ahead and click on the link in the description down below, and that's actually written by the father himself, so it's a pretty good read. So that's it for this week in Zelda news. I had a ton more stories, but they couldn't possibly all fit into this video once again, so just like the past couple weeks, we'll have a new video on Sunday. And that will be This Week in Nintendo News, but really, it's basically This Week in Zelda News Part 2. So be sure to stay tuned for that, and see you guys then. Bye.